Beloveds, today we are looking at the new year and looking forward and back. We're talking about Janus, the Roman god with two faces, one looking forward and one looking back. Janus is the god of doorways, not very surprising, of thresholds. And the new year is a threshold. And I thought before January was out, it might be a nice time to talk about thresholds and new years and what we take with us and what we leave behind. I have to tell you that I'm not one much for New Year's resolutions. Perhaps you are, and I'm not going to yuck your yum. But I'm not much for New Year's resolutions because any day can be a new year, first of all. Any day is a new year from the year before. And although the Julian calendar that we use is now the accepted worldwide calendar for how we navigate in the world together, there are many new years. There's Tet, or what we sometimes call the Chinese New Year, but it's not only China who celebrates that New Year, and that's coming up in February. And there's now Ruz, the Persian New Year, which is coming up in March, and there's Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, which happens usually in September. There are many New Year holidays, but one thing these holidays tend to have in common is the idea of a fresh start, new beginnings, some sort of celebration. And we do that too with January, but sometimes I think we put so much pressure on ourselves. You must have New Year's resolutions. You must do something completely new for yourself. Well, why? We grow with certainly with each new year, but with each new day. And we take things with us. And as Sarah's beautiful, beautiful dance showed us, all journeys have some moving forward and also some moving back. We take things with us on the way. If you've ever driven up a mountain road, and perhaps some of you have, I mean, after all, we live in a valley, do we not? We are in the Lehigh Valley. So I expect that you've driven up some mountain roads at some point or another. But you know that going up a big mountain road, you don't just go straight up or straight down. You have switchbacks, right? Because that's the easier way up than climbing straight up. You have switchbacks. So you're frequently able to see where you've come from. It's good to look at where we've come from. But more than that, I was thinking also about how we take things with us from where we've been. Perhaps some of you are hikers. Have you ever been on a hike? Maybe you've been on a hike through a muddy area. And you know, when you get back from the hike, you're not as clean and pristine as when you left for it in the first place. You bring back pieces of it. Oh, it might just be mud on your shoes or mud on your pants or bits of leaves and I hope not tick bites. I hope no ticks, but sometimes that happens too, right? But bits of where you've been. And this is true of our journey in life as well. January 1st, or February 23rd, or any date on the calendar, does not mark a complete washing away of everything that happened before it. We carry with us everything that we've carried before. So, beloveds, what are you carrying with you into 2022? What are you carrying with you? And the next question is, of the things that are carrying with you, what are the things that you would like to keep? What are the things that you would like to shed? I'll tell you that when I come back from a hike and my shoes are very muddy, I don't necessarily want to keep all of that mud. I do want to keep the photographs. If I've been somewhere where I'm allowed to pick up rocks or shells or sea glass, or depending on where I've been, maybe I want to keep some of that, but maybe not all the sand. What do you want to keep? Well, I know I've learned some things in the last year. I want to keep those things. I continue to learn more and more about tech. You know, when I went to ministry school to learn how to be a minister, I didn't think I was going to have to learn this much about tech. Can I tell you? You probably didn't think you were going to have to learn this much about tech either to be a congregant. But I'd like to keep that. I'd like to keep that. I continue to learn more about anti-racism and anti-oppression, and about myself and my own place in all of that work, and about my own history. I want to keep that. I definitely want to keep that. I'd like to let go of some of my assumptions. I'd like to let go of some of my fears. And I do want to look ahead, because starting in a new year does mean looking ahead. Now, as I said, I'm not one for resolutions, but that doesn't mean I don't believe in looking ahead. I believe in dreams and plans. I believe any day can be a day for starting something new. I look ahead to things in my personal life and to things with UUCLV. I think 2022 can be an exciting year. Exciting in a good way. We've had a lot of excitement in the last couple of years, have we not? Maybe some of that excitement we can do without. The pandemic is very exciting. Maybe we can let some of that go. I hope. Maybe we can let some of that go. But I'm looking forward to our starting to consider what our future is going to look like in terms of where we want to be physically. I don't mean for our temporary space. I mean when we start to consider what we want to do in the long term for our permanent space. That's not a decision that we have to make right now, or even by December 2022. We don't have to finish that discussion in 2022, but maybe we want to start it this year. I'm looking forward to the new ways that we're going to learn to be the church together, because I do believe that we will be back together in person in this calendar year. I really do believe that. And I'm looking forward to the ways that we discover to do that now that we are renting someone else's space. I know that that's going to be new for folks, but I think it's going to be an exciting challenge. I think we're going to show our strength with what we decide to do and how we figure out how to do that. I'm looking forward to all the inventive ways that we learn to keep this community thriving and being together in the new year and beyond. How about you? What are you going to carry with you that will help you in your vision for 2022 and beyond? Maybe there are things in your personal life that you have visions for. And maybe there are things in our church life together that you have visions for. I hope that you're going to be able to discuss these things together. And I hope that you'll share some of these ideas with me and with church leadership. The world is changing. The world is always changing, but things are changing faster these days, doesn't it seem? Technology makes things just go at almost warp speed. What are you finding useful in that? How would you like to change along with it? And what do you want to keep? Now, you don't have to have all those answers today. Again, January is just one new year in many. Maybe you'll have a brilliant idea in April. We still want those brilliant ideas in April. After all, April used to be the new year, the start of the new year. Don't turn your back on the past. Learn from it. Draw from it. Remember, we saw Sarah going back and coming forward. Take those lessons, pull them forward. Take those lessons, pull them forward. I'd love to hear what the lessons are. I'd love to hear what you're letting go of. I'd love to hear where you want to go. Beloveds, where shall we go? The future is wide open. Janus is at the doorway. Let us look ahead.